here with my 21-week bump date. I have a lot to kind of fill you in on, and I'm going to try and go through it relatively quickly because I actually have a doula appointment that I'm running off to, so I'll just jump right into it. In terms of how I've been feeling physically, I am out of breath. I have been feeling a lot of baby hiccups, which are really cute, somewhat concerning, and also just annoying sometimes, if I'm being perfectly honest. It just feels like a muscle twitch, right? So it's just like that. They last a good deal of time. I've asked my OB about it. She says it shows that they're healthy development. I don't know. I can't remember what her wording was, but she said not to be concerned, so I'm trying to not be concerned. At least when he's hiccuping, I know he's in there and he's still breathing, so that's good. I've been really kind of flipping back to how I felt sort of in the first trimester. I feel really, really tired. I feel kind of nauseous on and off again. I wasn't expecting that. So I have to, again, go back to eating like small meals throughout the day, make sure that I'm like always have something in my stomach, because if I get hungry, I feel nauseous. If I eat too much, I feel nauseous. But then if I eat certain things, I get heartburn still. So I'm like, I can't win. I can't win. But it feels like winning just to be pregnant, so it's okay. Otherwise, you know, all the same kind of aches and pains that I had before. Round ligament pain has kind of kicked in a little bit more than it has been. Like for me, it's been like my knees and my feet and my shins and my back, but the ligament pain last night when I was laying in bed, if I laid funny, it kind of hurt. So, and, you know, I think he's growing and expanding and running out of room, so it's putting pressure on those ligaments, which is probably very normal at this point. So that's not the most comfortable, but easy to deal with. Also, my ears have been plugged. I don't know if this is pregnancy related at all, but I feel like I feel like one ear or the other or both are always kind of plugged, and it's messing with my hearing, so people talk to me and I'm always like, what? I mean, admittedly, I don't have the best hearing to begin with, so it's kind of amplified right now, but like literally right now my left ear feels plugged, and no matter what I do, I feel like it just does what it wants to do. Sometimes it'll unplug, but then the other ear will plug up, or like I said, both. The other funny thing is that I still have an innie. I can't show you because I'm wearing a dress right now. But I mean, okay, I have a pretty deep belly button. I always knew that I had a deep belly button, but like it must be really deep because I literally still have like a good innie. I'm like, friends who are behind me by like 6 weeks, they have a full-on outie at this point, and I'm like, I don't know, I think mine just goes forever, so I just find that more comical than anything. I know not everyone gets an outie. Some women it stays innie or it kind of goes just like flat. So we'll see what happens. I'm just about to turn 32 weeks, so not much time left, but in that last little bit, that's kind of when you grow the most, I think. So we'll see. Take bets. Who thinks I'm going to get an outie? Something that Eric and I kind of did this week was we watched a couple documentaries. One documentary that we watched was What the Health. If you haven't seen it, I think it's really interesting. I think that it's quite one-sided, as most documentaries are. But I did find a lot of what they said surprising and interesting, and a lot of the things that they talk about are things that we've already changed in our diet. However, there were some things that came up that I wasn't aware of and that are making me feel even better about everything. So after watching it, unfortunately, I had, and also the reason is in combination for something that happened in Atlanta, but basically I can't eat chicken anymore. I'm having sort of the same kind of gag reflexes that I used to have with like red meat, I'm now having with chicken. So now I'm kind of, again, limited to seafood and vegetables, sort of like a vegan-ish diet, just because I don't eat dairy or eggs or whatever as well. So yeah, I'm adapting again, and I'm finding, you know, I'm learning more about what protein content is in different foods. Like I learned that artichokes have a lot of protein, which I didn't know before, and I eat a lot of artichokes, so winning. But the thing that happened in Atlanta, I don't want to go into gruesome detail, but basically a transport vehicle for chicken meat like was in a collision or a crash, and it was all over the highway. And I saw footage. I don't think I looked it up. I think it was literally on the news one day, and I just saw it, and it literally just, that visual, it was really, I don't know, it impacted me a lot anyways. So that's one thing. So diet has been, you know, forefront again for us. I've been changing some things and whatnot. Other documentary that we watched was Vegas Baby. If you have not seen it and you're interested in what the fertility journey is like, or if you've been through infertility, you might want to watch it as well. It's, it's basically follows the Scher Institute of Reproductive Medicine, which was where we went. And they held a contest 2 years in a row, I think, called the I Believe contest. Basically, you want a free IVF. Eric and I contemplated entering, but then we found out that our insurance actually was going to cover, which we weren't expecting because in Canada, it's not covered. You have to pay out of pocket. So we were actually quite surprised that we ended up having some coverage, and we felt very fortunate. So obviously, we didn't want to take that opportunity away from couples who didn't have coverage, and we never would have been selected, obviously, for that reason. But yeah, so it was really interesting to watch because it's not centered around the contest exclusively. They talk a lot about the process, and you see sort of egg retrievals, and you learn about the kind of ins and outs and the emotion. They talk about the emotions and all those kinds of things. I thought it was well done. I had been wanting to watch it for a while. It's now on Netflix, so it was basically 2 minutes in, and Eric and I were both crying because it just hits home to our journey, obviously, and, you know, when we see these other couples, some who've been trying longer than we had even, or, you know, had stillborns or multiple miscarriages or what have you, it's pretty heartbreaking. So it's not a light movie, that's for sure. But like I said, if you're interested in learning about it, it's a very real, there's no sugarcoating it. So I really appreciated the movie for sure. Other things that we've been up to, our insurance changed, which we've mentioned a few times. It's been a nightmare. I'm like literally can't wait for this transition to be over with. We go into the OB this week, and the billing is all over the place, and I feel like they owe us money, but then they're kind of trying to claim that we owe them money, and it's messy. So that's been not fun. We had to re-register at the hospital and all these different things, but seems to be kind of at the tail end of dealing with that now, which, thank goodness. We also went to Babies R Us. We did sort of a essentials haul. I don't know. We got some things that we kind of felt like we were needing, some pockets of items. Like, we didn't have really any burp cloths. We didn't have any, we didn't have a blanket for him. Not that you put a blanket in with a newborn, obviously you're not supposed to do that, but just, you know, just sometimes it's nice to have a cozy blanket to cuddle them with, I think. I don't know. But those, obviously that's not like the primary thing. We got some bottles, we got, I don't know, maybe I should do a haul video. I don't know if that's interesting to people or not, but I have talked about doing a video of what we have and like sort of our favorite items, so maybe when we get the chance we'll do that. But while we were there, I had like one of those traumatic experiences where this little baby girl, I don't know where Eric was. Eric and I were separated for whatever reason, and I just turned and I saw this little girl, maybe 1.5, I doubt she was 2 yet, but right around in between that range. She was beelining it, running out the door, like the automatic opening doors. And I happened to be right there. And obviously my first reaction is to look and make sure that mom or dad is following baby and about to grab them. But there's no one in sight. No one is looking. No one is coming running. So I literally like jump in front of this little girl as she's making her way out onto the street and scoop her up and kind of come back into the store. And then I'm holding her, looking around again, kind of like, whose baby is this? Like, no one's looking for her. And so I kind of just turned to the cashier, and she's like, sir? Again, and he's like kind of over around the corner. And I'm like, is this your baby? And he's just like, yeah, did she go outside? I'm like, almost. He was mortified, and then mom kind of heard us talking and like kind of ran around from wherever she was. And they were absolutely mortified, and I think this is every parent's worst nightmare, and obviously like they were probably very grateful that I was there and caught her. but it could have been anyone. I mean, my heart was pounding, and I was just a little bit, I mean, I know that there's going to be a moment something like that's going to happen to me with my kid. I just, oh, it was just one of those moments that hit me really hard, and I was just really glad that it was me and not some other person who maybe would have just taken her and ran. So yeah, that was a bit traumatizing, but anyway, she was safe, she was good. I tried to make the parents feel like they weren't horrible parents, because I think we all are going to make mistakes in our lives, and you turn your eye for a second and something happens. So I don't think that it's fair to put judgment on people. It just, definitely all of us were a little emotional in that moment. So anyways, we've got a busy week tonight. Like I said, I'm headed to the doula probably right away. I should probably get going. And then Wednesday I have an OB, our 32-week appointment. And then Friday we finally have our growth scan, so we'll finally have answers to know sort of how we're looking and how things are doing. There has been some discussion that came up surrounding induction, and I'll talk with you guys a little bit more about that once I've had discussions with both my doula and my OB this week, and once I've seen my growth scan. So that'll probably be something I discuss with you next week. But there's been some research and things that have come to light or come to my attention, especially as an IVF patient and high risk and all the rest of it, that I'm a little bit less supremely opposed to it now. And I'm a bit less eager to go a full week after my due date. I don't know. I know that everyone's going to have opinions about this, and I just have to follow my gut instinct and the professionals that I'm putting my trust in. But again, like I said, I'll fill you guys in on the big picture. I know that's just kind of like a little tease, but we'll talk about it soon, and we'll let you know where we're sitting on it, because right now I don't even know that much. So that, I think, covers everything. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything, but as usual, you guys, thank you so much for watching and sharing in this journey with us. We are getting so close now, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to show you the nursery, which I will be doing this week. So stay tuned for that. Watch out for that video in the coming days, and until then, have a good one. Bye, guys.